Hey y'all, it's Charles or Chad here with KC.
Hello.
So we've been away for a little bit, but during the holidays, and KC was with his family in Arizona, and I was here with mine. So yeah, welcome to episode 8. And again, I just want to give y'all our email address. We've gotten one email, and it was someone just updating some news that had happened in their life and wanting to come on the show at some point. But yeah, and I have had a few other people reach out on Instagram with tough news. Oh, I need to silence my phone. But yeah, so it's been neat having people reach out in confidence about things that are going on in their life and being able to help them and pray for them and give them advice. But if you have anything you want to share, positive or struggles, or if you want to come on the show, the email is therabbitholeshow21@gmail.com. So again, therabbitholeshow21@gmail.com. And I know it's been a couple weeks since we last got together. In episode 7, we talked about gratitude and just what we were thankful for going into the holidays. And now that the holidays are over, you know, it was a lot to think about for me, and this holiday for me was different, a lot slower, more low key. I wasn't thinking about missing out on something, or I was present, and that was something that happened naturally, but also, it happened naturally. And I think it's just from the experiences earlier this year and just being grateful to still be here, and that's alive, and my freedom, not being locked up. My sister had COVID and she's healthy and doing well, but Christmas morning, the family and we went over to her house, and she was sitting inside her house, tired, and we went over about 11. We all slept in, which was nice, but went over and sat on her porch and exchanged gifts. But even though we couldn't be in the same room, it was still great just to be together. And yeah, because there's a lot of other circumstances that could have happened this year. And what was it? Christmas Eve, I believe, or no, it was Christmas Day. I went to see a friend afterwards, but my mom just sent me a text and was thanking me for being present, and that she noticed that, and I wasn't even on my mind of being present. It just happened. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, so Casey, how are the holidays for you? Do you have anything you want to add since you were away, and what's been up?
No, it was good. I just went out and saw family in Phoenix. It was a good couple weeks spending time with them, recovering, and yeah, glad to be back.
We're glad to have you back. He got back Saturday. I went hiking Saturday morning before picking him up, so he was delayed by about 30-40 minutes on my doing, so apologize for that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Had to get my steps in. So for any guys out there that are looking for a men's group or a life group and are free on Tuesday nights, it's from 7 to 9. And if you want, you can come from 6 to 7 and have dinner, but it's called The Barn, and I'll put information up. And it's in Fort Mill. But it's a group of men, all ages, struggles, and just come together and do life together. And I've only been a few times, and it's been very impactful. This past Tuesday, there was a girl named Julia Alexis. And if you want to, you can go and check out juliaalexis.art on Instagram. And on there, it has a link to her shop. And she's also an alumni of Covenant Day, and hopefully soon we can have her on the show. She lives out in Oregon and kind of ministering out there and working on her art, but go check that out. It was neat to hear her speak and share her story. And I think she was the second woman to be in the barn on a Tuesday, since it's a men's group. And so that was neat to hear her story. And yeah, but that night they played a song by a band that people in Charlotte might know or would know the family, but the band's called We the Kingdom. The Cashes, they're out of Charlotte, but moved to Nashville, I believe, and got into music, and now the whole family is involved, and they started a band called We the Kingdom. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this song again. It's called Cages by We the Kingdom, and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. So here we go.
What if I got real honest? What if I took a risk? What if I opened up my heart and let you see in? What if I took my mask off, trying to fit in? I don't wanna be a mannequin. What if I let my guard
Coming out of my cages, coming out of my cages. Oh, coming out of my cages, coming out of my cages. Oh, coming out of my cages, hey, coming out of my cages. Sing it out.
Okay, again, that was Cages by We the Kingdom. So it talks about taking off my mask and finally coming out of my cage, not being a mannequin. And I think that's something that I struggled with for quite a while, having my mask on, being something I wasn't for others to like me more, to fit in, and just because of where I grew up thinking I have to, have X amount of money by this time, and, just stressing myself out all the time and comparing myself to people, friends that I thought had it all, but they were struggling just in different ways, different areas. And
it's like the saying I heard, like, I'd rather be crying in my Ferrari. I'd rather just not cry. You're still dealing with stuff. How about just not crying and being fine with where you're at and not worrying about being in a Ferrari or not?
Exactly, because everyone wants the materialistic, and you're not going to be able to take that with you when you die. No one, I've realized, and I don't want to say everyone, but people shouldn't view someone based off their status quo, their money. People who have a lot of money are not friendly. I've met some people, and there's those who are very generous with their money and giving back. And then there's people who don't have anything and are grateful. On my trips to Africa, as I mentioned before, there's people that I met and became friends with loved on me more than I loved on them, and they had nothing. They had a soda can, I think, and the kids would kick a soda can and play soccer and had the biggest smile on their faces. And over here we have more than enough to live off and survive, but yet we're still depressed. High suicide rates, violent crimes have gone up, at least in Mecklenburg County. Drug use, alcohol. And what does that stem from? I think for me, it was wanting more, not being enough, and finding negative outlets to release that tension and try and cope with not being enough. Because when you are negative self-talking about yourself for years and years, that's all you believe. And when someone else tells you something positive, you're like, why the hell are you saying, like, that's not true? Have you seen me? And that was a battle and a circle of just never ending for me. I mean, is that something you've ever witnessed or dealt with, or like, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm all the time.
And those are the famous words from KC. Yes.
I'm the silent producer. I'm listening. I'm not engaged.
But yeah, and just being a mannequin, and I was not present at events and always thinking about the next thing and wanting to be there and over with where I was at. And the past was something I was afraid of, which made me afraid of the future. And so I was never present because I was always thinking about how my future was going to play out, because my past I just couldn't accept and didn't want people to know and was trying to hide it. And until this year, just really took my mask off and being vulnerable and sharing my story and knowing how I felt in those times. There's others who feel just as great or worse, and those who are starting to struggle, and I don't want them to have to get to where I was. And they know people, have friends, neighbors, kids. I just want people to be able to not have to go as dark as I did to wake up and realize how good we have it and how grateful, and there's positive ways to cope and just opening up. And even if it's just to one person that you trust, once you say and get it off your chest, you're going to be dealing with that. So, but again, that was Cages by We the Kingdom. And again, JuliaAlexis.art on Instagram. She went to Covenant Day with me, and I didn't realize until I heard her speak and met her this past Tuesday at the barn. But yeah, JuliaAlexis.art. And then if you want to, you can go to www.juliaalexis.art and go and take a look at her art. And she just came out with a 7-part series. I think it was My Ebenezer. It's pictures of her kind of telling her story through stories from the Bible. It's kind of cool. So go check that out.
And then the barn on Tuesdays from 7 to 9.
Correct. And if you want dinner, come 6 to 7 and just tell them Charles Height sent you, or shoot me a text and I'll meet you out there. But again, the barn, and I'll put the information on the Instagram and y'all can come check it out. It's cool. Sorry, ladies, guys only. But there is some stuff that I can let the ladies know about. My mom is involved in the women's study at Carmel Baptist, and they do a lot, so I can put some stuff out there when they have events going on. So I showed you I showed you one of my tattoos last episode, I believe. Casey, was it?
I believe so.
It was the one on my wrist, one day at a time, and that was my first tattoo. And I'm gonna show you another one, or talk to you about another one briefly. And this was not my second tattoo in chronological order, but second one I'm going to talk to y'all about. And it is on my left chest, and it's a Bible verse, and it's Luke 22:42. Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. And I was always, I guess you could say, taking the cup full by myself and not wanting to ask for help, whether it was from friends, family, or my Heavenly Father. And it was just always weighing me down. And until I started opening up and giving up my prayer request to him and speaking it out to others and making it known, I was just weighted down, and my cup was just draining and it was just never full. And I just didn't see how I was going to be able to make it to the next day. And that's just why it got so dark. And suicide was always on my mind, violence, and just anything negative you can think of. I was thinking it while trying to put a smile on and look like the happiest, go lucky guy, when I wasn't doing well. But I didn't want my burdens to be other people's burdens. And until I realized that when I can open up and get stuff off my chest and talk about it in a healthy way, those negative ways I used to cope aren't going to happen because I'm not bottling everything up. So that's just something that is a big reminder for me. And I got that in February earlier this year, kind of before everything happened, like a week or so before I got hit by the car. But again, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. And again, that's Luke 22:42. So we've been talking to some people about coming on the show as guests. And one person, or our first guest, is a longtime buddy, close friend. And he's going to come on here, and we're just going to talk about, our relationship and our ups and downs and whatever he wants to share. He'll have the mic. But Haynes Lucas, y'all have heard me mention him before. He got married. His wife, Sally, she married him. It was May 1st. So that was the wedding I went to, Haynes and Sally Lucas, right after I'd gotten out of the hospital and off life support. So he'll come on. I'm excited to have him. So y'all get ready. That'll be episode 9 or episode 10, based off some dates that we have out there. But I'm excited to start getting guests on and hearing other people's stories as, they come on. And we're all struggling. We just have to remember that not everyone's peeled off their mask yet. And I'm not going to always be happy-go-lucky. I'm going to have my days where I want to put on a mask. And we just have to remember, and always, for me, I just have to be thinking and be grateful for all that I have, because it was gone in an instant. But, I was given a second chance, and I'm blessed for that. And so I want to thank y'all for that, or thank y'all with that, for listening to episode 8, for y'all being engaged and tuning in. Again, the Rabbit Hole Show 21@gmail.com, the Rabbit Hole Show 21@gmail.com. So reach out with any news, updates, struggles, prayer requests. Let us know if you want to come on the show. Reach out. But yeah, hope y'all had a great holidays, just as KC and I did. Again, we apologize for taking some time off, but a lot of y'all have been reaching out, and we didn't put anything out that we were going to kind of take the holidays off, but it happened that way. So thank y'all for your patience. Again, this is episode 8, and this is Charles out.
Casey out.